Hello everyone, back tuning into today's second video, doing the USA update for today's second video. So we're going to have a look at what's happening in the United States of America. We'll begin in the tropical Atlantic and in the Gulf of Mexico. Two tropical storms on the way for the Gulf. So we'll have a look at those. One tropical storm, and actually one will become a hurricane. Have a look at what's happening there. And then we'll have a look at whether the next 10 to 14 days and extend out beyond that the extended CFS V2. So just say these videos are YouTube exclusives. Yes, you can watch these on YouTube and subscribe to the channel. You'll be, if you click all notifications, you'll be notified when we are releasing these videos. Thank you so much, everybody, doing that. Right, so let's start off then with the tropical Atlantic. So two tropical storms at the moment. We've got Marco just here heading towards the Gulf Coast, and then we've got Laura down there towards the Dominican Republic. If we look at Marco first of all, so currently giving maximum sustained winds of 50 miles per hour, minimum sense pressure of 1,006 millibars, moving at 8 miles per hour north-northeast. If we click on Marco and go to warnings and static images, you can see that tropical storm Marco is going to head onto the Gulf Coast in the next sort of few hours, really, moving on to the Gulf Coast of Louisiana, and then heading inland as a post-tropical depression through the southern part of the state of Louisiana and on into eastern parts of Texas. It's going to give copious amounts of rain and probably a storm surge as well. And then going backwards to Laura, this is how things are looking with Tropical Storm Laura. Again, if we click on Laura, let's just go back very quickly. So Laura is giving maximum sustained winds of 60 miles per hour, minimum sense pressure 1,002 millibars, and moving west-northwest at 20 miles per hour. If we click on Laura, and again go to cone warning static images, excuse me, you can see that Tropical Storm Laura is currently here. It's left Dominican Republic now. It's heading into towards Cuba. And it's going to move into the Gulf Coast as a Category 1 hurricane and then power up to a Category 2 hurricane, I think, by the middle part of the week. So around Wednesday off the coast of Louisiana and Texas again, and then moving into the states of Louisiana and Texas, moving inland as a hurricane. We can confirm how strong this is going to get by looking at discussion. So at its peak in 60 hours, it's going to go up to 105 miles per hour, which is definitely into Category 2 hurricane status. So a Category 2 hurricane heading for the Gulf Coast after Tropical Storm Marco has already hit the Gulf Coast. So it's going to be a wild time. It's going to be a wild time down on the Gulf Coast. These are how the latest wind flow map is looking. This is how the latest wind flow map looking from earthnullschool.net. So you can see these two circulations quite nicely that are Marco and Laura. So that one just there, let's change the colour. That one just there is Marco. This one is Laura. So yeah, they're showing up very, very nice. As you can see, but out of the two, Laura already looks to be the more intense, I think, the better defined circulation, if you like. But both of these storms are going to give a big impact. Both of these storms will give a big impact to the Gulf Coast. So keep an eye on that. These are the 500 millibar high anomaly flowcharts from Penn State University for the next week to 10 days. We've got the ECMWF on the left and the GFS, which we'll have in a moment, is on the right. So 500 millibars is an area in actually high pressure, low pressure, up in moved around by the jet stream running above. Red extrapolates high pressure, blue to low pressure. You can see that with the ECM, there's going to be a trough of below average heights extending through the central northern part of America with a ridge pulled out towards the Pacific coast. The flow and the jet's going to be doing something a little bit like that. So a trough of low pressure pushing through from central northern parts of America towards the east. And so this looks like turning more unsettled, turning cooler and more unsettled now for northern parts of America, possibly eventually on into the eastern part of the states as well. But GFS is very similar, again, with a trough of low pressure extending down through the central northern states. Flurma jets doing something like that. So with that trough of low pressure, you would definitely expect to bring down some cooler air from the north. A ridge of high pressure, again, sitting somewhere close to the northern Pacific coast. These are the GFS upper air temperature precipitation ensembles for the next couple of weeks for New York City. So the red line is the 30-year upper air temperature average for New York. We're starting off warmer than average at the moment. The temperature is going to fall away as we move through towards the middle part of the week. Then pick up again a little bit later on in the week before falling away again more definitively, I think, as we go into the early part of September. Then the temperature falls away, for air temperature falls away more definitively, becomes cooler through the first week of September. Maybe going a little bit warmer there later on towards the end of the first week of September. But overall, looking rather cool, you would have to say, as we're moving towards September. Precipitation-wise, it's not too much in the way of rainfall to come over the next few days. But around the weekend and into the early part of next week, it looks like it's turning quite a lot wetter. And these wet conditions could last through the first week of September as well. Having said that, temperature anomalies are generally coming out a little bit above average for a weekend from the 24th to the 1st of September. Warmest anomalies to average are over on the western side of America still, legacy of a heat wave, I suppose. But even on the east side of America, it's a little bit above average with precipitation, with temperature. Precipitation-wise, we look like that. So northwestern states and down towards Texas, rather dry of an average. But over on the eastern side of the states, it does look a little bit on the wetter than average side through some of these sort of midwestern and eastern states, just a little bit on the wetter than average side. So clearly it's more unsettled in the east, and it's drier still out in the west. That's how the GFS is looking for tomorrow on Tuesday then. So we've got a ridge of high pressure here through these western states. A bit of a trough of low pressure is digging into the north and into the northeast as well. There's the circulation that is Laura, by the way. So this is Hurricane Laura. Let's go back to it. This is Hurricane Laura just here heading through the Gulf tomorrow. And then Hurricane Laura moves on to the Gulf Coast as we go through into Thursday, moves into the Gulf Coast of Louisiana to the border of Texas as we go through into Thursday. You can see the circulation very well defined there with the upper air temperatures. Notice it's very hot across most parts of America, starting very hot through the middle part of this week across many parts of America. Moving into the weekend, then we start to see these cooler temperatures begin to dig in from the north with this trough of low pressure here. A ridge begins to move over towards the east side of America, and then we've got a trough of low pressure digging in from the north. That's bringing some cooler air with it. You can see on the upper air temperature there is a very big temperature contrast setting up across the north of the states by next Monday. So many parts of America are still looking really hot by this point, a little bit cooler in the northeast, but most of these central and western states are looking really hot. But up in the north, it is going quite a lot cooler up there. So obviously that is going to involve heavy rain and thunderstorms, and then this trough of low pressure starts to push eastwards as we go through the middle part of next week. That brings cooler air in from the north across many of those northern states. Look at the upper air temperatures really falling away there as we go towards the 2nd of September. So it's still pretty hot in the east, still hot in the west, but the upper air temperatures are falling away across some of these northern states. Going up towards day 10 and beyond it, you can see that again the heat is in the west, in the southwest. The northern states, again, they are looking just a little bit cooler too. And moving through the first week of September, we see that the heat, again, it's out in the west and through the south. Going further northwards, things do look quite a lot cooler. There is quite a bit of high pressure around, though, through the first week of September. So there will be a lot of dry weather. Those northern parts of America do get a little bit cooler with the heat in the west, the south, and in the southwest as well. ECMWF is looking like this. So, again, there's the circulation just there in the Gulf of Mexico. That is Laura, that's Hurricane Laura there on Wednesday, midnight on Thursday. Hurricane Laura is moving into the Gulf Coast between Louisiana and Texas. Again, many parts of the states are looking hot at this point with the upper air temperatures under a ridge of high pressure. And then we go through into into the weekend. So if we follow the track of it, you see that Laura sort of pushes northwards. It would go post-tropical by this point, I would have thought, moving inland across America. Again, it will bring copious amounts of rain, thunderstorms, and that sort of stuff. And then it moves over towards the east and the northeast. And then Laura is moving out into the Atlantic by Sunday, moving off the east coast of America. Looks like it's intensify a little bit there as it gets out into the Atlantic over water once again. That leaves sort of cooler air into northern parts of the states once again. So the upper air temperatures do lower in the northern parts of the states, but many of these southern and western parts of America are still looking very hot with the upper air temperatures through next Monday. And then heading up towards day 10, that's how we're looking. Again, the upper air temperatures show that it is a little bit cooler through these northern states, but many areas are actually looking pretty hot with those upper air temperatures. And we're probably generating thunderstorms where we've got the divide really between the hottest and the hottest temperatures and the cooler temperatures. So we'll probably be generating big thunderstorms there as we get up towards day 10. CFSV2 is looking like this. So these are 500 millibar heights, break it down into week periods. The first week period takes us from the 24th to 30th of August. The coming week has below average heights to the northeast, above average heights out in the west. So cooler air with this trough low pressure is trying to dig southwards into America, but actually most parts of America under the ridge are still looking pretty hot. Week 2 is the 31st of August to 6th of September. Again, low pressure digging in from the north, from Canada, ridge of high pressure out on the Pacific coast and over on the Atlantic coast. The flow of the jets doing something a little bit like that. So again, many of those east states probably still quite warm at this point. This trough low pressure is trying to introduce cooler and more unsettled conditions from the north. We go through to week 3, which is the 7th to the 13th of September. Again, a ridge is in the north and out to west and out in the Atlantic as well. It's probably, it might be a trough low pressure through there actually, so that might be a little bit cooler and a little bit more unsettled. And then week 4, which is the 14th, 20th of September, brings the ridge back to the north and to the east too. That can start to bring hotter air back northwards across many parts of the states once again. Temperature anomalies in week 1 from the 24th to 30th of August, hot on average in most parts of America in the week ahead. Big cool down coming from the north in week 2, this is the 31st of August, 6th of September. Big cool down in the far north, hotter in these eastern and southern states. Week 3 is the 7th to the 13th of September. Again, hot and average on the western side. The Midwest through to the east looking rather cooler than average. And then week 4, which is the 14th to 20th of September. Again, rather cool and average through those central states. Hotter than average in the east and also in the west and also in the northeast. Precipitation wise, finally, looks a bit wetter than average on the east side of states for the coming week. That's going to be related to Laura, of course, and also potentially Marco down here. These sort of central states looking rather hotter and hotter in the northwest as well. Week 2 is going to be the 31st of August, 6th of September. Again, it goes largely cooler than average here in this week. Still a little bit hotter average in the south and over to the east. It goes wetter than average, I should say, through many of those northern and midwestern states. Week 3 precipitation is the 7th to the 13th of September. Drier than average in the midwest, but a little bit wetter than average on the east side, near normal out in the west. And then week 4 is the 14th through to the 20th of September. So hotter than average in the east, wetter than average down in the south around the Gulf Coast. Again, could be tropical storm or hurricane related. And then most areas having near normal precipitation for week 4. So all eyes are going to be on the tropics, of course, in the next few days. What's going to happen with Laura? How strong will Laura get as Laura pushes onto the Gulf Coast through the middle part of this week? Then Laura's going to go northwards and bring lots of heavy rain to sort of central, midwestern, eastern parts of America for pulling out into the Atlantic Ocean, possibly. And then after that, we may get a bit of a cool down into the north. We may get some cooler air coming down into the north from Canada for a while. That might get pushed back again, though, by warmth moving moving back up from the south as we go through the early part of September. We shall have to see about that. Right, so WSA forecast will be coming up on Thursday. If you've enjoyed this video, then please give us a like and let us know in the comments what you think. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, and you'll be able to see the USA forecast at GavsWeatherVids YouTube channel on a Monday and on a Thursday as well. That's all for now, and thanks for watching.